Hello, my name is William. For the last week, I've been working on a frost block mechanic for my 2.5 assignment. Huge disclaimer, I only have one stage and a single mechanic. I am very bad at coding. I can think up cool ideas, but I'm having issues with implementing them and writing the code. I was able to implement the text display on screen when the character touches the red message block. Additionally, I was able to add interfaces on the screen that lets you know that there is lava. I created crabs, ocean background, and some lava. The idea was that you're just a player on a beach with a volcano, and there's lava pools around that the character cannot walk through. My notes lets you see that whenever you push F, you can use that to freeze blocks. E key can be used to push blocks. Unfortunately, I'm still working on the color change mechanic, hit points, and damage blueprints. But ideally, you would need to freeze a block, push it over the lava, which would allow the character to reach the goal. The block does have collision, and it can be used as a braking mechanism that kind of shatters the lava, which frees up the path. As everybody should know, this is the map that we all started with, and I made a few changes. This is my first map that I worked on. As I said before, I added some crabs, and there's the blocks and stuff, and the trees, and a few pits that you can walk over, and this is the ocean. The level that I will actually be playing and showing you my mechanic is here. And I guess let's get to the actual meat of the presentation, me actually showing the mechanic off. So if I push play, I did have to do some other modifications because for some reason my character lost its nose, and I couldn't see where the character was going. So I did put a red nose back on the character. So let's get into it. So when you touch, you can obviously, sorry, walk into the ocean. It doesn't tell you anything. I was thinking about adding something here in the water saying ocean or something. There's pits that you cannot walk over. You can walk over the crabs now. Before you couldn't. If you get close to the lava, it says lava, and you cannot walk through the lava until you break it. I was gonna add something that says crab and maybe add damage to the character, but I didn't. I'm not good enough to code all that. So if you walk over this tile here, it gives you a prompt. Press E to push and F to freeze. Unfortunately, I could not get the freeze mechanic working good enough before the project is due. Well, before the assignment is due. But what does work is if you go to the front of the block, push E to push the block, move forward again, push E, yay, it breaks the lava. So obviously with other stages, now you can walk through the lava, reach the goal, and you get the victory sound. To create this stage, what I did was I messed with the blueprints. I made inside of the actual lava, there is a collision box here that shows the tacks. I made a destructible mash for the lava that actually breaks when you get in contact with it. The ocean is just a plane that I made right here. This is just a blueprint plane. The trees are cylinders. The crabs were actually pretty hard to make. It was a bunch of cylinders and everything. And for that's about the gist of my stage. If there's something that I would like to work on, I would like to actually add that when you get close to the block, you could freeze it, and then that will allow you to have more. That allow the block to have more hit points, and then you could use that block to push through. What I was working on and what I did try to do is inside the player, I tried to write this code here in, which is going to allow you to do the input of freeze, and it lets you know what direction that the character is, and it will shoot a ray a line by the channel to let you know if you could freeze an item, and then it should go to change the color of the block. But I was working on it. For some reason, I couldn't figure out why the code wouldn't change the color of the block. And if I close this and I actually open the block, I tried to put that code on here, add it as an interface, but for some reason my interface wouldn't change whenever I went here and I tried to add this. It's not allowing that interface to pop up. I know I need a lot more help when it comes to coding. Any future levels that I do make, it would have to require obviously the codes working and the blueprints to working, so it'll be correct for future game stuff. But I think overall, I do like how my stage looks. It's creative. I was going to include some kind of island music in the background, which I may do in the future. But really simple starting off, but obviously it can get complex and complicated when you add more crabs or add blocks that need to be frozen. And the freezability is something that the character starts off with. They don't have to get a magic wand or anything like that. It's just something that's inherent to the character. And that is my assignment. I am extremely open to any critiques, any criticism, any feedback, any links or help for coding because I know that's something that I am extremely weak at doing. I think I can do cosmetic stuff on stages pretty good, but when it comes to the coding and writing the blueprints and actually implementing stuff, that is actually my weakest point. So, any feedback, any gripes, anything like, hey, I don't like the way your crabs look. I don't like your lava. I don't think you should have used this. You should have used that. Let me know in the feedback, and I'm extremely open to any criticism about my level. Thank you, and have a nice day.